Ryan Taylor reflecting on Arsenal's 2-0 Carabao Cup defeat in the final at Wembley against Manchester City. A game which was quite strange, really. A really poor match. First half particularly bad, but Arsenal were just so poor following the restart. I think they had just 25% possession between the 45th and 70th minute, which was, of course, when City scored twice through Nico O'Reilly. Two goals really that were very much avoidable from an Arsenal perspective, and not really goals we're used to seeing them concede. Obviously, the big stipulation was that Kepa Arrizabalaga, who kept his place. He's played every minute of their League Cup campaign so far this season. He kept his place ahead of David Raya and spilled the ball for the opening goal, which was a moment that really sucked the life out of Arsenal. I think for anyone watching that, there was no real belief after that goal that Arsenal were going to go on and come back, because City just started so strongly and the goal was coming. It was wave after wave of attack. City targeting Piero Hincapié and Ben White. Obviously Jurrien Timber, which we'll come on to, wasn't able to play in the match due to an issue that he's been nursing since the Everton game. But I really felt like City, through Semenyo and Doku, really took the game to Arsenal, and unfortunately Arsenal didn't have the answers. There's been quite a bit of news which has moved since the final whistle. Jurrien Timber has withdrawn from the Holland squad. He's been replaced by Geschruder from Sunderland following his involvement in Sunderland's big victory in the time we're Derby at St James's Park. Not unexpected that Timber's withdrawn, given he couldn't be involved today. William Saliba has also withdrawn from the France squad, and that's key really, because France were actually due to travel to the United States to play friendlies against Brazil and Colombia, warm-up games effectively for the World Cup. We know Saliba's had an ankle issue over the past couple of months. He struggled with it this season. He actually pulled out of the lineup at Liverpool earlier in the campaign with an ankle problem. It's believed to be a separate issue, of course. It's the other ankle, his left ankle. I actually saw him walk through the mix zone. He was okay. Didn't appear to be limping, so I'm quite surprised to see he's dropped out. But given France play in the United States, I think it's very sensible, given that we know how important the games are to come over the next couple of months, with Arsenal looking to win 3 trophies. They're still in 3. The quadruple hunt is over. But Saliba won't play a part for France in the United States. Eze has also dropped out of the England squad, which was largely expected, but Arteta seems to be a little bit concerned about it. He said he's going to have another scan in the next 6 to 7 days to see how that's kind of healed. But it's believed that he picked up the injury taking a shot against Bayer Leverkusen. You might have seen him limping during that game, or sort of moving a bit gingerly. He of course came off, was then asked about the issue, whether he was injured, and he said he thinks he was okay. Arteta also said on Friday that Arsenal had picked up no new injuries from midweek, so obviously he was keeping his cards close to his chest on that front, because Eze wasn't available today. He did travel with the squad and arrived with the squad, but I think it was already known that he wouldn't be involved. The same applies for Timber as well. He just couldn't be. I think it's an ankle injury, but he was actually seen holding his groin and adductor when he came off against Everton, so I can't be 100% sure that it's definitely his ankle. But we know that basically these Arsenal players need to rest up now, because the big games keep on coming thick and fast. Eberechi Eze has been replaced by Harvey Barnes in the England squad. Obviously Eze is pushing to secure his World Cup place, because competition for places for England in those attacking positions in particular is really strong. So no Eze, no Timber, no Saliba during the international break. What does it mean for Arsenal's season that they've just lost to Man City? Well, I think it's not the time to panic. Obviously they're in the box seat in the Premier League title race, and that big game against City is now on the horizon at the Etihad. I think City will take huge confidence from today that they can beat Arsenal at the Etihad. Arsenal may say otherwise, but I think they just need to avoid defeat at the Etihad to remain in control of the Premier League title race. If they were to lose that game, there's no doubt in my mind that that will become a little bit more difficult in terms of the pressure. But Arsenal's fixtures look really favourable, if we're being brutally honest. Go to Crystal Palace on the final day. See, Palace are still in the Conference League, so you never know, they might have other things to worry about. And of course, they should be safe by then. They've also got Burnley at home, Arsenal, Fulham at home, travel to West Ham as well, which won't be easy because West Ham are fighting for their lives and obviously took a point off City recently. It's going to be interesting moving forward. I wouldn't be surprised to see more Arsenal players pull out of the international break, just because these games, unless they're playing in a World Cup playoff like Calafiori, don't really mean much. So is there, much benefit of going on a training camp with the national team? I mean, unless you're absolutely trying to get into the national team squad for the World Cup, I think there's very much a chance that, generally speaking, they would probably benefit from more rest. So Gyökeres has also got a World Cup playoff match to think about now. It's going to be hard for them to pick themselves up. In terms of the actual trophy lift, I kept a close eye on Arsenal during that. Mikel Arteta was applauding his former employers, City, but a number of Arsenal players didn't actually want to watch City lift the trophy. Declan Rice, Gabriel, one of those situations where it's hard to accept. I think Arsenal know they didn't play well today, but Gabriel and Rice really did not want to watch City lift the trophy. I think they were looking at the floor the moment City got their hands on the cup. So lots to ponder now. I think it's the worst possible way to finish off before the international break for Arsenal. But at the same time, there's still so much football to be played, and they're really in control of their own destiny because they've got that favourable quarter-final Champions League tie against Sporting, a nice lead at the top of the Premier League as well, which, if they focus and don't panic, I think they can still definitely win that without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, to be honest. I think the bigger issue today was how they played. Was surprised that Mikel Arteta didn't make more changes sooner, to 65th minute before he turned to the bench. I think Hincapié was really hindered by his yellow card, which I thought was so harsh. I think Núñez slipped and made a meal of it. He was booked in the 15th minute, Hincapié. But I actually think Gabriel Martinelli would have been a real weapon from the bench, because he could stretch City and get Arsenal up the pitch. When City were pressing hard just after the half-time whistle, I felt Arsenal needed a ball carrier to kind of relieve the pressure, because all they tried to do was sort of hoof it up pitch. But they really struggled because the ball just kept coming back at them. So lots to ponder. I think, can you say categorically that Raya should have started in goal? Maybe, but it would have been very harsh on Kepa. He's not going to play any football now between the end of the season and now, unless Raya gets injured. So harsh on Kepa maybe, but we know he's got rich history in this competition. He missed a penalty in the 2022 final against Liverpool, which saw Liverpool crown the winners. And of course he refused to come off in the 2019 final, so there's a lot of kind of spotlight on him. I think he's actually lost 3 finals as well, I believe, with Chelsea, 3 domestic finals. So, ultimately, maybe, just maybe, Arteta might think, should I have started Raya? But that's hindsight. Arsenal still in a strong position as we head into the closing stages of the season.